It's probably 3
Hello everyone and welcome to the Winter Games 2015 Coaches Go-To meeting. This is our second attempt of recording this, so we're hoping you're going to enjoy this and it goes well. So please save the dates of February 28th and March 1st, as that will definitely be our Winter Games. And now I'm going to ask Katie Dennett to come up and talk to you about coaches education.
All right, we're going to have some trainings this winter. The first one will be on January 3rd at the Taft School for figure skating and speed skating. Figure skating will be offered first for 2 hours and then speed skating for another 2 hours after. Please visit the Coaches Corner on our SOCT website to register. The next coaches training we will offer this winter will be on January 10th at Winding Trails in Farmington. That will be for all cross-country skiing and snowshoe coaches. Again, please visit the Coaches Corner to register. This year we will not be holding a alpine skiing training. However, our clinician Rob is available on Monday nights. Should you or one of your coaches request some training time, please contact me for more information. The Winter Games sport rules can be found both on the Special Olympics International website at specialolympics.org and on the SOCT website in the Coaches Corner. Something new this winter is that all coaches, regardless if you are a registered head coach or not, all coaches must go through a concussion training. It's approximately a half-hour long, and it is offered on 2 different websites, on the CDC website and the National Federation of High Schools. I'm going to show you how to find that on the CDC website. If you go to cdc.gov/concussion, if you go and click on youth sport coaches, and then if you click on take the free online training, it will take you straight to the training. Again, all coaches must take this. If you take it via the CDC website, it will give you a certificate at the end of it, which you'll need to print out and either mail to me, scan it in an email, or fax it to me. If you take it on the National Federation of High Schools website, it will let me know that you have taken it so long as you put in Special Olympics Connecticut in your program affiliate option. And that's something that you have to type in. Any questions about that, please don't hesitate to contact me. And now I'm going to hand it over to Katie Kemiak to talk about some volunteer updates.
Okay, we've got some good stuff coming up in the volunteer program here. For starters, I just wanted to make you guys aware that we're going to be working with a new volunteer vendor. It's called Verified Volunteer. Sorry, let me say volunteer one more time. The new background checks are a little bit more thorough, which means that they take more time. On average, a clean criminal history will take 24 to 72 hours to come back. And because they do verify all the information that's in a background check, it'll take longer if there are criminal offenses. So this means that I'll no longer be able to process any last-minute forms, which includes those group home staff changes. I know in past when they've had somebody have some kind of an issue or we needed to change last minute, we've been pretty flexible on that. And actually, we're just not going to be able to do that anymore just because we won't be able to do it in time. If you do think there's going to be some kind of an issue, I would have you reach out to me so we can try to get the whole group home staff screened in advance, so that way if there are any changes, we're all set. So like I said, give me at least a week's lead time before an event if there are any changes, because it'll take that long for me to get everything done. Okay, well, one really cool thing that we're going to be changing is that we are only going to be requiring 2 references for minor Class A volunteers. So for those folk that are 17 and below, we'll only require 2 references. It used to be 3, so pretty cool. Protective behaviors, another great change is that now we will only require protective behaviors to be done every 3 years for those who are 18 and above. It used to be 16 and above, and as you know, it was kind of difficult to track all that. So now it's 18 and above for protective behaviors. So with our new awesome verified volunteer vendor and some new volunteer software that I have, I'm working on creating a new web version of the Class A. We're still talking to our lawyers. We got to finalize some details before we can make any major changes. But I'm hoping to have this all released this month, at the very latest, the beginning of next month. So give me a call if you have any questions.
Now we're going to go over some registration dates to remember. The Winter Games intents are due on December 17th. The Alpine training rosters and registrations were due November 24th. The traditional basketball intents are due January 5th. Registrations for floor hockey, figure skating, speed skating, cross-country skiing, and snowshoeing are due February 4th. The traditional basketball registrations are due February 11th. And the registration materials can be found on our website at www.soct.org. Please email your full registration packets to registration@soct.org. Insurance requests can be sent to Lauren Young at laurenY@soct.org. And the coach's handbook will be available on our website 3 weeks out from the games, also available on our website. Here's where you'll find the registration packets. At the top of the website, you'll see Forms. Click on Forms. This will bring you to where the forms are located. The first one is the intent to participate, and then you'll have all the registration packets listed below. Please fill out your intent to participate online. Each delegation will submit one intent to participate with all of their sports, which are due on December 17th. These will be emailed directly to our website.
Alpine skiing will once again take place at Ski Sundown in New Hartford. Please remember that there is absolutely no parking or drop-off at the mountain. All teams, families, and spectators are to use our shuttle parking lot, no exceptions. Training will begin the beginning of January at Mount Southington, Powder Ridge, Mohawk Mountain, and Ski Sundown. We will have additional shuttle buses this year. Please remember Super G is the best of 2 runs, while the slalom and giant slalom is the combined score of 2 runs. Any athlete who disqualifies will receive a participation ribbon. Intermediate schedule is going to be reevaluated for this year, and credentials will be punched for the food line. This next slide is the staging process. This is not new. We continue to ask that all events stage at the bottom of the mountain. All athletes will need to report to the staging volunteers at their specified times, and once everyone in the heat is checked in, the group will take the lift to the top of the mountain. Please make sure you follow this. Any athletes that does not follow this could be disqualified.
Our figure and speed skating competition will be held at the International Skating Center of Connecticut in Simsbury. For any programs who have coaches who are looking to be certified, please remember that Katie has a training on January 3rd at the Taft School, so please sign up for that. A couple changes to this year's event. Figure skating awards will be moved upstairs to the lunchroom area in an effort to decrease some of that congestion in that area. And we will also be providing a bus shuttle earlier in the day on Saturday afternoon to bring teams to the hotel so they're not sitting around. The drum corps opening ceremonies will be relocated in response to athlete sensory issues and getting them on the ice. Bingo will be provided at Olympic Town. And another reminder that music for the figure skaters does not allow vocals, so be sure to train with instrumentals only. And now Lori Jean will talk about cross country and snowshoes.
Okay. At our usual site, CLMP Service Center in Simsbury, is where we'll do cross-country skiing and our snowshoes. Please remember that we also have limited parking at this venue on Saturdays due to opening ceremonies. So parking is allowed for 1 team vehicle only on site. All others will park at the Chubb Insurance parking lot and shuttle over. For snowshoes this year, we are going to institute a waterfall start line for all the curve courses and the relays. Athletes should be training for this type of a staggered start, and they also need to train to stay in their lanes. Think of it as a track event. Athletes who are in walking events for snowshoes should only be walking. They do get excited and sometimes they do start running. So if you think that there's any chance that that could happen, please register that athlete for a running event instead of a walking event. Co-ed heats may be developed. It will depend upon the amount of people that we have by their age, gender, and ability. So be prepared to check the handbook and the schedules as they come out throughout the weekend to let you know when different heats are going off. And that would be for both cross-country and snowshoes. We're asking everyone to please remember that our officials are all volunteers and they deserve to be respected as much as the rest of us. So we ask that you use proper etiquette if you're going to report a protest, and remember to do that in a very respectful way, as again they are just volunteers. One coach per team is going to be asked to assist their athletes with putting on snowshoes. I know we've tried this in the past and sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't, but we would like to have you back in again to that area just because you know your athletes, you know their shoes, and there's so many different types of snowshoes. No one would be able to put that on better than someone from your own team. More space will be provided between the lanes for snowshoes depending upon snow conditions. So we really have to wait and see what we've got for snow and what the guys can push around to make those lanes. And then the annual Bud Myers Award for Sportsmanship will be given out at opening ceremonies. There's an application in the next slide. If you have any questions on cross-country skiing, please call Diana Mahoney. Her number is listed below. Or Sandy Brown for snowshoes. She's also given us her phone number. And if you have any questions at all for either of those two sports, if you don't get their numbers here, you can always email one of us and we'd be happy to share that with you. This is the nomination form for the Bud Myers Award, and again it's for someone who shows excellent sportsmanship, so please take that into consideration and make sure you put somebody in for this award, which will be given out at opening ceremonies, and you will submit this form to Sue Moore no later than February 1st. And let me bring up Katie again now to talk about floor hockey.
We will be back at the Pratt & Whitney hangar in East Hartford for our floor hockey competition. If you have any equipment requests, please send them to me. These should have already been made with me, and all of the programs who had requested have them, but we do have extra, so if anybody needs it, please get in contact with me. The Unified Qualifier will be on Sunday, February 21st. We will have an 8 a.m. start. If we get many more traditional teams to register this year, you also may have to attend this. So please be advised to keep that open until you hear otherwise. Buses will need to arrive earlier at Pratt & Whitney on Saturday afternoon and leave the hotel earlier on Sunday morning to accommodate the scheduling. Last year, we found ourselves waiting around for some teams, so we've just please ask you to keep that in mind. Skills volunteers will be reminded to start each athlete on the correct side for which the athlete shoots. So please be sure to put that on your registration for each athlete so we can set up all of our athletes for a successful competition. And now, Lauren will tell you about curling.
Curling practices will take place at the Nutmeg Curling Club located in Bridgeport as part of the Wonderland of Ice. The practice dates are listed here. They are all on Saturdays beginning on January 3rd, and they will take place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Larry Zaleski from Milford does a wonderful job setting up the ice and getting us the ice time in the first place. And there is room for 8 additional curlers. This is a unified event, so both athletes and partners are welcome to join. It will be a Bonspiel held in March, sometime after Winter Games at a date to be determined. Please contact me for any additional information, and I can get any interested athletes or partners connected with our existing programs who participate in curling, including Milford, Waterbury, and Manchester Supportive Living. I will pass it off now to Rebecca to talk about traditional basketball.
The traditional basketball tournament will be held in Waterbury on March 14th. For 2015, we've implemented a quota system for a maximum of 2 teams per local program and not to increase any teams in the next year. We'll have a coaches meeting at Holy Cross High School on January 7th at 6 p.m. to discuss future planning and dates. Additional competition opportunities will be offered in 2015 in the Enfield area, and we'll have more information to come.
As I mentioned earlier, the sports-specific rules can be found on our webpage on www.soct.org. If you go to the sports and fitness programs and choose the Coaches Corner, you will then find our new Coaches Education Plan. When you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is a gray a bar that says Special Olympics Connecticut Sports. If you click on the plus sign, it will list them all out, list all of our sports, and underneath there will be a link for rules, and there will also be a link to the sports guide, coaching guides, to give you some more ideas on how to better coach your athletes. Lauren, take it over with housing.
Okay, so once again this year we will be providing housing at 4 hotels. The Farmington Marriott for a majority of our teams, with our out-of-state team staying at the Hampton Inn and our floor hockey team staying at the Homewood Suites and the Hilton Garden Inn. I am finalizing the room configurations, and I will send those out to all teams in the very near future. The banquets and dances at the Farmington Marriott and the Hilton Garden Inn will feature a 1960s theme, and the movie that we will be presenting will be Free Willy, and that will be during the dance, and you will hear from Caitlin about a healthy athletes option alternative as well. As usual, the hotels will try and keep the team rooms together, at the very least on the same floor. In response to your feedback, the dance floors will be more brightly lit, and we ask that chaperones for each team are more aware of their athlete behavior at dances. We want to make sure that this is a good, clean environment that is safe for everyone involved. And so now I'm actually going to pass it off to Caitlin to talk about healthy athletes.
As some of you may already know, we are trying to expand our Healthy Athletes program to a year-round program. We will have health promotion activities at the following venues. So we will have it at cross country and snowshoes, speed and figure skating, floor hockey. I did not put it on here, but we will have some type of Healthy Athletes program at our traditional basketball, so be on the lookout in the Coach's Handbook and Coach's Corner. At this particular health promotions activity, athletes will learn about the importance of proper hand washing. One of our winter sponsors, Henkel, will be providing samples of Dial soap. So please get your athletes, over to visit our section when you have time. We'll also have an aquatics aerobics class at the Farmington Marriott. New Britain and Berlin YMCA will be joining us. There will be an instructor as well as a lifeguard during this class. Further information will be provided closer to the event date. I'll put it up on the Coach's Corner as well as in the handbook. If you have any questions, you can contact me at the number provided or email as well.
Okay, any questions? We can't answer them right here, but you can certainly get them to us, and we would be happy to do that. Please don't hesitate to contact any one of us. Let us know what your thoughts are. We also want to know what's the deal with this particular webinar. Did it work for you? Does it work? Do you think it's a good idea? Should we continue with that? And we're very happy to do that for you. So I've listed here all the names of who to contact for the various sports. Anything overall on the games, you can always contact me, Lori Jean. Alpine is Sarah Pearson. Figure and speed skating is Lauren. Cross-country snowshoes would be Sue Moore. Floor hockey is Katie Dennett. Curling is Lauren. Traditional basketball, Rebecca. Volunteers, Katie Femiak. Remember, her email is Catherine F., where the other Katie is Katie D. And then Healthy Athletes is Caitlin Dacus. As she just said, you can contact her about any of that information. So we hope that this has been a good thing for you. We thank you for completing this webinar with us, and we look forward to seeing you at the games. Now you're going to see here an opportunity to click here so that we can find out that you actually were on this, but remember to go back to your email that you got originally in regards to this GoToMeeting. So YouTube video, however the heck, we've got it up here, and please let us know that you've completed this and give us your feedback. By all means, thanks so much, and we look forward to seeing you at the games.